And there's a look over towards the Taste of Little Italy Festival, and this is the intersection of Bathurst and College. And hello there, it is Saturday, June 15th. The time right now is 5:26 p.m. and the temperature is around 21 degrees Celsius. As a 511 Bathurst streetcar makes its way north up to Bathurst Station. And this is east on College Street. And for this one, I need to make my way up to Yonge and Bloor. Not sure.
Want to help me?
The route I'll take, the most logical thing would just to be to keep going straight here along College all the way to Yonge and then head north up to Yonge and Bloor, but see if I change my mind on that plan along the way. There's the green room. There's a number of restaurants and places that get quite popular at night here. And over on the corner there is Sneaky D's. And I just finished a walk that started up in the Annex and made my way down Crop Street. That one should be up on the channel by now. Here's Crop Street. That's a walk I intended on recording yesterday. But due to a Toronto Transit service disruption, I ended up making it today instead. I also have a video going through the Taste of Little Italy Festival where I'm assuming a lot of these people are making their way over to. And you'll be able to find that one up on the channel by now.
Complained about the beer. Not want to do bad things, because you want to upgrade your life. That's always important.
This is our like those sins are relaxing.
So over to the right is the Kensington Market neighborhood. Everything to the left, which is the north side of College, is Harbour Village.
Yeah.
These upgraded bike lanes are a recent addition. Curb separated, kept away from the sidewalk and from moving traffic, and they're nice and wide. It's about as good as we have it in the city. Let's look down Augusta Avenue. Probably the busiest and most well-known street in Kensington Market. And these streetcars here are diverting at Bathurst Street. Normally that would run right through Little Italy. I think that'll be heading down to Dundas. And some streetcars are heading north up to Bathurst Station as well.
I don't know if they're struggling or not.
Old K chicken burgers. This used to be the place to go get PC parts if you were building a computer. There's only a few of those shops left. That TNT Supermarket's a fairly new addition to the neighborhood. This VR arcade closed down recently. And once upon a time, Canada Computers had a number of locations here. They're down to just one, and they recently closed their Midtown Yonge and Eglinton location.
You know, you can't think.
And this is the north end of Chinatown.
At the start, I was like, oh, it's kind of mid.
And it's worth noting, in a little over a week from now, the Spadina streetcar will no longer be running on Spadina. There's various track repair upgrades that'll be taking place until December, so it's going to be quite the gong show. Down Dundas, as the buses replacing the streetcars will not be using the dedicated right-of-way. Not sure why this guy is hanging so far out into the intersection and angling his car to the right. Guy's not having a good day. But this is a beautiful day for a walk. It's a tricky place to reverse out from. And the area to the north of here is part of the University of Toronto St. George campus. Or last week they had their graduation. I don't know if the summer semester is in effect or not. But it's certainly a lot busier around here when it's full of students, at least on weekdays. Halifax style donair. I don't really know what makes it Halifax style. But if you know, let me know down in the comments. That might be interesting to learn about.
Castello ciccia è normale, però
This is St. George Street coming up. Old Beverly Street to the south of here, St. George Street to the north.
So when you go last time.
yeah, I don't like it this when you can't go around.
Hitachi.
And then he told Sarah that there's someone.
Well, there's a development notice here for a 31-story tower. It'll be kind of sad to see this block go. I've always wanted to try this patio. A lot of these streets that head down towards Queen, or I guess Dundas, then Queen, are very pleasant. They're tree-lined and very quiet. There's a security car blocking the entrance to King's Circle, or King's College Circle. There's a large encampment still taking place in the middle of the campus. And I'm sure that's why.
Yeah, well, he lives here now for a while.
And we are at McCall Street. It's an interesting view to the south of here with OCAD University and the CN Tower. It's better the further to the south you go. And coming up is University Avenue. There's an E.J. Lennox design building, the Toronto Athletic Club. Same architect was behind Casa Loma and Old City Hall and a number of other notable buildings. And if you couldn't have guessed it, sometimes I plan these walks and have talking points in mind already, and sometimes I just wing it, and this is one of those. And it says goodbye graffiti on it. You can kind of guess what they do. Interesting crowd. Just north of here is the Provincial Legislative Assembly. And I gotta get my legs moving to get across this two-phase crossing in time. Let's look down Hospital Row. And on the right is Mars. That's the original home of the Toronto General Hospital. That began operation back in 1829, as I just read off of that plaque I glanced onto. I think it's now a tech and medicine incubator of sorts, known as Mars. So the next few blocks will be a bit quieter, but it'll pick up as I get towards Yonge. is Elizabeth Street. No, I'm not following this guy in front of me, but he seems to go at a brisk pace like I do. I think a woman was complaining about the e-bike delivery drivers. I overheard her say they're not licensed or insured and they drive like assholes. I don't really think insurance is necessary at all. I'm not opposed to having people that drive anything with a motor to at least have a G1 license. And we are at Bay Street. That's College Park on the right. They bought something from IKEA. All right, I guess we're going to Yonge and then heading north. There's Pogue Mahone. And it's Franz. They got their upstairs patio all opened up. It's a popular diner. They have another location down at Yonge and Shooter in the Pantages building, and they used to have one on Front Street East.
That means this phone number I have is signed up for too big.
And here's where College Street ends at Yonge, and it continues on as Carlton Street.
Am I stupid? Oh, no, I'm serious.
All right, I'm making decent time. I have 15 minutes to get to Yonge and Bloor. Usually super punctual, but if I'm a minute or two late, it won't be the end of the world. Just south of here is Yonge and Dundas. And parallel to Yonge, a few blocks east of here, is Church Street, and more specifically the Village neighborhood. And there'll be a large Pride Festival taking place there in a couple of weekends. Topped off by a massive parade along Yonge Street here, which I've recorded the last few years. They've recently taken off the scaffolding on this new building here.
So they serve.
This is Breedlebane coming up. This is never a dull street to take a walk on, although it has been changing quite a bit over the years, losing a lot of its character for better or worse, and a lot of the smaller, more independent businesses that go with it. And we're at Wellesley. Wellesley Station just over there. I imagine it would be a busy day down at the waterfront and the islands, although I read that 2 of the island ferries, 2 of the 5 are out of service. So I think the private operators will have a nice uptick in business. That's really the best way to get to the islands on a busy weekend. That guy is wearing Ultras. Smart choice of shoes.
Okay with whatever.
This is St. Joseph Street, just a few blocks from Yonge and Bloor. And that on the left is 1 Bloor West. Really starting to make an impact on the skyline.
That's better.
But despite all the new condos and the larger, more boring corporate retail they bring in, there's still a lot of smaller retail. And new places popping open all the time. There's the CAA Theater, formerly the New Yorker Theater. I think it was the Panasonic Theater for a brief period in time.
I don't hate.
And we are at Charles Street. I'm getting messaged. Saigon Lotus, that's new. Vegan and vegetarian? There's Ginger. That's a great place to get a bowl of beef noodle soup, but sadly their prices have really skyrocketed. That's true of a lot of places downtown. And a few days ago, Shake Shack opened up, causing quite the stir at Yonge and Dundas. But several years ago, it was this Chick-fil-A that was doing that. It was constantly lined up and created quite a buzz. And we're about to walk alongside 1 Bloor West, where there were plans to put a flagship Apple store as the anchor retail tenant. I think the retail space was configured just for them. But Apple has apparently withdrawn from the project. Remains to be seen who the tanker or tanker anchor tenant would be. Maybe like an H&M or Uniqlo. So I might be in this area tomorrow for the exotic car show. This is Yonge and Bloor, and there is a brand new Lululemon store. Not sure if they closed their location just to the west of here in Yorkville Village. There's someone holding an aloe bag in front of it. All right, I have a date with the restaurant Italy. Made it here at 6:02. So I hope you enjoyed this one, starting at Bathurst and College. And I kind of power walked my way for a lot of it over to Yonge, then up to Yonge and Bloor. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. If you wish to support what I do on YouTube, there's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership down in the description. I have an Instagram account at Johnny Strides, and there is a super thanks button appearing down below if you wish to say thanks that way. Oops. There we go. Anywho, thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Yoink.